Hello and welcome to another Star Citizen podcast. It's the 7th of July and we're going to be talking about a variety of things. I've segmented the news off in a more sensible fashion maybe. We'll see how the podcast plays out. It's about Star Citizen. I'm BoredGamer. We're joined by the lovely Zinnia. Say hello, lovely Zinnia.
Hello, lovely Zinnia.
What have you been up to?
Not much.
We were just talking about playing Peak.
Yes, we've been playing a bit of Peak. I guess everybody has, haven't they? It's a good game.
It's a good little game. It's pretty simple. It's quite frustrating and it's very rewarding, or at least moderately rewarding when you do the stuff right and you get to the top and Zin, what does it feel like when you get to the summit and actually win Peak? Oh, it feels so good, doesn't it?
Well, your character didn't look like they were feeling good.
So
they looked like they were suffering from survivor's guilt.
So very much, we've tried it a few times and I have survived one of the times and everyone else has plummeted to their doom. But we're still at it. We're trying to complete it on normal mode now. It's good love. People should try it out. Very cheap. Great little game to play with your mates and get frustrated and find that you want to help each other. And it's got a great mechanic of you put your hand out to sort of grab and pull someone. And every time you do that, the person that you pull up will say, thank you. It doesn't matter if they've just been pulled up a second ago. If you do it again, they'll say thank you again. It's amazing. So, some quick news. Alpha 4.2.1. We're still awaiting live for that. It's currently in all waves.
Are we still waiting for a release candidate?
We're waiting for a release candidate as far as I'm aware still.
Cool.
Haven't seen any RC patches, but that's likely to start this week. It's quite possible they'll do it straight after Foundation Festival's ended, because there's obviously a free fly running now, and it might be overly complex to go, there's a load of new people playing Star Citizen. Let's update the patch version. But we'll see what happens. What do you think will happen soon?
I think they will decide that the game's ready to go for live and they'll do a release candidate and then eventually it'll go to live.
Okay, that's fair. That's literally what will happen.
Probably next week.
Probably next week. Okay, cool. Yeah. I think that's probably pretty reasonable within the next 2 weeks. That's what I said last week, and that's what I still say. That's forever 2 weeks. So we've probably seen some more RSI Meteor sneak peeks. We think almost certainly it's the Heavy Strike Fighter version of the Mantis. I'm looking forward to it. I should go with 4.2.1 live. I haven't been able to play with it yet because it's not in the build as far as I'm aware. Foundation Festival is currently ongoing. There's a free fly, stuff to earn by guiding other players, whether you get guided or are a guide, and you can get some little rewards and some ships on sale and stuff like that. These are pretty minor. The Foundation Festival, it's probably one of my least favourite things that they do. Least favourite's probably the wrong word, but something that I get involved with the least, sort of the least interesting to me. Although I do think it's actually pretty cool for Star Citizen and trying to get new players in. So, what do you think of the Foundation Festival? You're a bit meh on it as well, aren't you?
Yeah, but I'm quite a just jump in and try it myself sort of thing.
Yes, and there's very little that's in game for people that want to jump in and try. It's very much more of a encourage to get a guide, encourage you to guide someone, play with someone that's going to teach you stuff, which we have when we play together. Which is constantly us trying to work something out and go, why isn't this working? Oh, yes, I've got it working. Two idiots trying to make Star Citizen work. Item duping's in.
Yeah.
That's clearly annoyed you immediately. Item duping's a problem at the moment. There's a lot of bots doing this. I've seen later videos of this as well. Black market LPBC prices as well have reportedly dropped significantly because of this. This is one of the problems with gold sellers and stuff like that, is that it encourages mass duping, mass exploiting. CIG are aware of it at the moment, and they are addressing it, but it's like you get an item and you can just duplicate it in your inventory, add infinitum. Yeah, CIG are very aware of that and they're able to track it down. You're going to see a load of banned accounts. They need to have something to address these things and to stop them happening and be able to both proactively and reactively deal with issues like this that occur for when 1.0 comes out. Obviously before 1.0, but there needs to be a solution in place. And it's the same for cheating and hacking, which people are talking about a load at the moment as well, because Star Citizen servers are not appropriately authoritative, as far as I'm aware, at least from what I can see other people saying, and they need a solid anti-cheat, solid anti-hacks solution for 1.0, otherwise you're going to have a game that I don't want to play. if there's huge amount of cheating, huge amount of item duping, load of exploits and stuff, I'm just not going to want to play Star Citizen when it goes live. And you see it with a load of competitive games. You see it, we play the finals, there's cheaters in that. You see it with Tarkov, just any game where you can be competitive, even any game that's multiplayer, people will try and cheat. But as long as they've got solutions and logging and stuff like that in place, you can help mitigate that. What are your thoughts on this?
I think the problem is the fact that there's a market for Alpha UEC, which I cannot get my head around at all.
Gold farming. But you can have it in any game for anything, right?
Yeah, but the fact that Alpha UEC isn't permanent.
Yep. But, for example, say you're playing Star Citizen now, and you can pay like £3 to get like 10 million Alpha UEC. I have no idea what the prices are at the moment. I'm not going to humour it by looking on eBay or wherever else people get their stuff from. If you can pay just a tiny amount of money to get a load of Alpha UEC just to mess around with it, I think some people are going to want to do that. And as I've said before, it is the problem with gold sellers, because I'm quite pro, do and play and buy what you sort of want. It's your own sort of experience, as long as it's not hugely damaging someone else's experience, as long as it's not pay to win, kind of okay with it. But gold selling damages your experience of the game, because you're going, I want to avoid this gameplay, which is a shame. And you are encouraging the terrible behaviour and exploiting and hacking and cheating that these gold sellers employ to maximise their profit. Now I feel grumpy.
Let's move on to something else.
Well, let's move on to the referral rewards. There's some new referral rewards. There's the new referral ladder. Have you had a look at this, and have you seen that? Been able to compare the new and the old ladder?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not really too bothered about it, but sure.
Well, it's new. It's new stuff, right?
Yeah.
Alone new stuff, better than not having new stuff. When you compare the sort of old and the new one, I was expecting a load more sort of ships and vehicles between 10 and 50 mark, because all you've really got is a Mirai Pulse at 4 recruits, the Donlevy Gladius at 42, and then the Miscrap, the Street Sweeper at 50. There's other rewards. There's a Temporal Storm at 75. There's a Freelancer Max with some cool paints at 100. There's a Vandal Scythe at 500, and then an Idris M at 1042. And obviously, above 50 is going to be incredibly hard, rather than just quite hard, for normal people that don't have social media presence or aren't covering Star Citizen and aren't org leaders to get. So I was hoping more tangible things below those numbers. I mean, there's armor, there's weapons, but they're mostly gone for the flare route. Lots of cool flare. Which I was hoping for more ships and vehicles. And there's about the same amount of ships and vehicles from the old ladder. It's just you got a Gladius 10 recruits on the old ladder and things like that. And I was like, it feels like we're missing out a little vehicle or ship at 10 recruits and 25 recruits. And you give me that, and I'd be a lot happier with the new ladder. And I think a lot of people would be like, oh yeah, that's cool. What are your thoughts on this? Do you really care with the ladder rewards? You're just like, oh yeah, you like the new ones, or do you think there should be some tweaks and changes there?
I think there should be some tweaks and changes. I think there should be more weapons.
Oh, okay, like FPS stuff or ship weapons as well.
FPS weapons, maybe ship components as well. I'm not so fussed about modifying ships, so I don't really know about that.
You will be when there's a better reason to, and it affects us more.
But yeah, otherwise, I quite like the rewards. I think they're pretty cool.
Yeah, they're certainly new.
I actually want to start a petition or something for getting a Henry Cavill model in game that you can earn.
Oh, okay. So there is the Starman statue.
Yeah, that's what made me think of it. I was like, that'd be really cool if that was Henry Cavill.
Yeah, I agree. Henry Cavill model, some of the Squadron 42 stuff like that.
Yeah, or cool. Other Squadron 42 characters would be pretty cool, I think.
But maybe we'll get them from playing Squadron 42. Some stuff like that, right?
No idea.
No idea. I do want to say that I believe the 42 recruitment reward for the Gladius is an actual new variant of the Gladius, technically. It's the Dunlevy with military component Gladius. I think it's just a new loadout variant. Have a 4.3's in.
Yes.
So CIG have revealed some of the bits for 4.3. There's more coming, but I want to talk about two of the major components, or a major component which is But yeah, both these bits are part of the same thing. You've got these massive underground facilities, and they are, I believe, called cooperative zones as well.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is really in your wheelhouse because you really like the sort of PvE content.
Yep.
And they said cooperative zones, not an event, not a sandbox. It's like contested zones, but the opposite, where investigation, puzzle solving, and cooperation with players around you will make completing the objectives easier. And abandoned underground facilities, I will call these PvE dungeons, hopefully accurately. Located on every moon of the standard system, these enormous multi-leveled structures are used for new cooperative zones coming in 4.3. What do you think of that? What are you expecting? Is this the sort of gameplay that you want?
I'm hoping that there's lots of, like, escape room type puzzles.
Okay, well...
That's not going to happen.
But there might be a couple of silly things, right?
But I love puzzle solving and stuff like that.
Yeah, Zin and I play a reasonable amount of escape rooms and puzzle solving games and things like that. We're really looking forward to Escape Simulator 2.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's still so much playability in Escape Simulator because there's map making thing for it. So there's a huge amount of the community just constantly make maps.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think this is going to be a mixture of a little puzzle solving and looting, and I hope there is a solid puzzle aspect that's not just move a box. That's not just, oh, there's a code on the computer in this room.
Press 2 buttons at the same time.
Yeah. Sometimes that is classified as puzzle solving, or, oh, I know how we get up here. We have to park a buggy here and then jump up it. Well, at least that's more of a thing. Yeah. So hopefully it's a mixture of stuff, because they can do some cool stuff with gravity and boxes and cargo boxes and moving stuff around, but also with genuine puzzles that you have to work out codes based on information and loads of stuff like that. And there's a solid physics sandbox with Star Citizen, which will make that even more interesting. But I'm hoping that we get some cool fights in there, that we can approach it at our own pace, that there's some cool loot. How do you think they're going to enforce cooperation, non-PvP in cooperative zones?
Insta-ban. Straight to jail. What? No.
Well, they could have...
Exploding collars.
Well, you could have... I mean, you could literally kick players out of it if they get a crime stat or something like that. Mm-hmm. And you could have respawn areas in there for lawful players. So you shoot someone, they respawn in the facility there.
Yeah.
But you potentially get kicked out. Exploding collars or lasers. I mean, there's RAIFPS turrets in these areas. Mm-hmm. It says for players to avoid, destroy, or provide additional PvE challenges. But you could have them, if someone attacks another player, if you want the friend sort of thing, that just shoots them immediately or something. There's a few things you could do. I know a lot of people are going to be like, oh, I don't want them to enforce it. Well, I do. I want different areas for different gameplay. If you want cooperative zone, if you want just PvE gameplay with friendly players or whatever, cool. Do that. Don't go, I also want to come into this gameplay. You can. You just can't do PvP in it. You've got your PvP gameplay for that. And I do like also mixed gameplay that does both, but I do want areas for just one and just the other, and I don't see a problem with that. Especially when it's sort of like, it's I'm going to this location to do this thing, not I'm actually trading and I don't want to actually risk getting attacked. Well, if you're flying around in Star Citizen, you are at risk to a degree, and that's fair. Anyway, 4.3, looking really cool. Really like that idea. Something I think Zin and I will do a load. Contested zones, they're okay. They're quite buggy though, even still now. And there's the risk of just someone just hiding at the an exit, just go boop. It just feels that sort of, it feels too much like Rust and the parts of Rust I don't like. Which is that, I'm dead. Good. Monthly reports in.
Yeah.
In the monthly report... Oh, well, actually, I should say that the 4.3 is probably the August patch as well. But monthly report, lots of stuff about ships. We found out the Kraken and Raylan, they're in pre-production, going into full production later this year. The Paladin and the Perseus, they're in grey box, potentially coming out at the Intergalactic Aerospace Expo later this year. Ironclad is receiving some layout alterations. And there are 5 other ships and vehicles that are in the works. Assumedly one of those is the RSI Meteor. I forgot what it was called. Lots of ships and vehicles on the way. Are you excited by any of these? Are you like, oh, they're actually making huge amounts of progress on tons of ships?
I just think it's cool how quickly they get through ships now.
Because previously it was ages. I know a lot of people are like, why are you saying that? But they still haven't got out the Banner Merchant or something like that, which is kind of fair, right?
It is fair, but, and I'm probably going to say the same thing you're going to say, there's not much point getting it out other than, here, have a Banu Merchantman, because there's no real trading or anything like that at the moment. The ship will be useless.
And that's a good thing to move on to in a second. Yeah, we also know that they're working on Alpha 4.3 and 4.3.1 for the monthly report, and lots of work's gone into 4.2.1. But with that in mind, what you just said, economy update. Obviously, one of the things that we want is, and that will make the Banu Merchantman sensible to have in game other than just having a big ship, is you need the shops to work on board. You need that sort of level of trading and stuff. And CIG are working towards a dynamic economy, and we found out that they talked a bit about it in the Star Citizen Live recently, working towards a dynamic economy. I talked to a load of the economy team that were actually featured in that video at a Bar Citizen recently as well, Nick and Andre. And Connie, he wasn't in the Star Citizen Live, but I met him at the Bar Citizen. So yeah, I talked to them about player-to-player trading and effort versus reward, and they are working towards that dynamic economy. They're working towards Star Sim, is what it's now sort of fully branded as, I believe. And one of the things they showed off in that Star Citizen Live was the new inventory and looting sort of screens. And they're trying to make this as ergonomic as possible. And they are gamifying some of this as well. So you are having nearby boxes, loot containers, bodies and stuff accessible when you access your inventory. So you can just sort of go to a tab and go moving stuff between them. It simplifies stuff. What do you think of these new like loot screens and UI for looting and your inventory?
As long as it works.
Okay. So is it all function over form for you, or do you want...
Form is good. It looks all right to me. It might look a little bit busy now, but once you know what everything is and what you're actually looking at, it will come to you more naturally, and you'll be like, yeah, I know what I'm doing. Yeah,
so busy is the word I'd use as well, actually. It is a bit too busy for me, but there are loads of filters for it. You can probably make it a lot less busy, and probably is actually relatively simplistic. It's just they are representing a load of items in that person's inventory. What I did really like was the comparisons with stats of FPS weapons and things, because obviously when you putting attachments on things, when you've got things that you're trying to upgrade and different tiers of items, like you've upgraded your one of your weapons and you want to compare it to another weapon or the unupgraded version or whatever, you can do that. You can do a comparison. You can see the stats. I like stats. Stats give me a good indication of how something functions compared to something else. It might not work exactly that way in practice, because there's going to be things like weapon spread and that sort of stuff as well going on, which goes, well, actually, this is significantly better for me just because of how I aim and fire or whatever. But is there anything else you'd like to see from a new inventory and UI system?
Not really. Just decent filtering and it to actually work.
That's it. Consistently be able to actually move your items and grab everything. Yeah. Because when you've got 1.0 of the game, you can't have stuff like this going wrong and items disappearing. Because an item disappearing, that could be quite a valuable item. It could be something super rare. You can't have those problems. Function and then form and filtering, super important with how much is going on with Star Citizen. Yeah, super looking forward to it. I'm fine with them gamifying a load of this stuff a bit. I don't want it to just be too arcade, but I do want to be able to manage my inventory in a simple way. I don't mind if I'm near 3 bodies and I put my inventory and it allows me to move the stuff between them. Cool. Just let me do that. I'm okay with that. And if you don't agree, tell me in the comments below. Something else I do want to mention is there are CitizenCon watch parties that are going to be happening on the 11th of October. There's no physical event for CitizenCon this year, but I suspect you can find a watch party near you that they'll be probably relatively big. They might even have a Star Citizen attendance there. There's like going to be a few hour sort of online thing to watch. But there is one I want to talk about. There's Quantum Dispatch watch party for CitizenCon at the National Space Centre in Leicester in the UK, which is sort of smack bam in the middle of England. Zin and I might go. We're sort of working that out at the moment. Zin probably is like, are we? Yeah, we're going to be trying to work that out because I really want to go there. Basically, it's the Space Centre Planetarium. There's a lot of activities and stuff. It's got it's going to be a good one. Some of my mates are involved with, or if not running it, and I assume there's going to be a reasonable CIG attendance there, or at least hopefully, and it's looking really cool. I will link it down below. It is a ticketed event. but I suspect it will be worth it. We'll talk more about it in the future because I'll get more and more info about it, but I suspect those tickets will sell out as well, so go check that out. Links down below. So, I'm curious from you, Zin. I always and ah about things like this, where I go, we're obviously needing to cover and make videos about this sort of thing.
Yeah.
So, and when it's an online event, sometimes it is nicer to watch it from the comfort of your own home.
Yeah.
But also, I do like the idea of cool loot and cool stuff and going to a watch party for a day. It's not like a CitizenCon where you're there for like 3 days. What's your sort of thing? Do you prefer the comfort of home and covering it from home when we've got stuff like that, or to go to an event?
I always prefer the comfort of my home.
If you want a watch party, if you want to socialise, then it's I suppose it's going to appeal to the same people that would want to go to a physical CitizenCon event, right?
Yeah. But the thing is, I think I preferred the idea of a physical CitizenCon because you have stuff to go and look at there as well. Like they have the cool stalls and like the other people showing stuff off.
There may be some stuff like that here. There seems to be quite a lot of effort gone in here and some sponsors gone into it as well. Well, we'll talk more about it in the future. I'll find out some more information. I'm looking forward to it. I think it'll be cool. But yeah, we might go. And you should get tickets if you are nearby or want a cool watch party in the UK. Sin.
Yes.
Why would people want NordVPN?
For privacy and security and accessibility on the interwebs.
That makes sense. That's why I use NordVPN. And you can use it too by going to nordvpn.com/BoredGamer or using the links below. Oh, Sin, what's this? Tobii eye trackers are on sale until the 14th of July. Why would someone want that?
Because they're pretty cool.
Yeah?
They're good fun. And even my partner likes to use it, which annoys me because then I don't get to use it. But yeah, because it works natively in Star Citizen, but also in lots of other games too.
Oh my god, that's accurate. Because that's natively supported head and eye tracking. Links below. Say goodbye, Zin.
Goodbye, Zin.
Every month we have a ship giveaway, and July 2025 is no different. We're giving away a Prowler utility with lifetime insurance and a Star Citizen game package. All you need to jump into the game with a stealthy cargo ship. It's all you need to start your career as a hauler or maybe a pirate. Comment on any of our videos made during this month to be in for a chance of winning that. If you would like to further support the channel, consider becoming a channel member with the join button under the videos or a Patreon. Links down below for that. And there's loads of other links that you can help support the channel with, from Game Glass to THRUSTMASTER, loads of products that you will potentially want for your Star Citizen experience. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you have a great month, and I'll see you in the verse.